Fair Media Council Executive Director Jackie Clement says one of the goals of the organization is to promote a healthy news diet by encouraging people to research multiple points of view on news story coverage.
So what people tend to do is, they'll go home at night, they'll flick on the television and they'll leave it on one station. They'll watch, one of their favorite cable channels, and that's where they get their news. Or they'll pick up the daily paper in the morning and they'll go first to the commentary section to read their favorite columnist. And then they say, oh yeah, I agree with that. Well, they didn't get the news to understand what was missing from that commentary to help them make up their own mind. They're just agreeing with someone else who as a columnist, their express job is to, create a case for their own opinion. And by doing so, you naturally throw out facts that conflict with, anything that would be against your opinion. So we want people to be able to find a variety, not only in news, but where the news is actually generated from. So, if you want to watch Fox, that's fine. But if you're watching Fox, I also want you to watch some CNN, just to see how the story may be different. And then I also want you to look at PBS to get the view from inside the country, and then look at something like the BBC to get the view from outside of the country, because they all offer different perspectives. And then once you've done that, then we can talk about how you actually feel about the story and what your opinion is.
And Clement says it's important to get the background details from traditional print media sources as well as broadcast.
We do want people to read more than they watch, because television basically updates people on news stories. The assumption is made that you've already read the story somewhere, whether it's online or in print, which gives you the background and the details, where television news is meant to give you the update, the freshness of what just happened and how the story is changing. So if you're just watching television news as the bulk of how you're gathering your information, you're missing out on the whole background. So it's very important that, the reading element is making up much more of your news consumption time than watching the news. So we call it actually creating a healthy news diet, and it's something that we're trying hard in particular to get children to understand and create the habits while they're young, so that they grow up using news to their advantage, to use it to build a better life, to understand what's happening in the world, to understand other cultures. If we can create media-savvy children, what we ultimately create are world-class citizens. And that's really what, the country in particular needs.
And check out the final part of this series, which offers Fair Media Council tips for solutions to current media issues. Collora reporting.